right now, me, Peter, and Kevin, our amazing cameraman who can walk backwards, we are walking to our CVS so we can get stuff. So we can try and accomplish this myth in some semblance of time.
This produces the least amount of thermal energy.
You know, we don't have anything to measure that. We don't have, like...
It's called your hand.
We have our hands and sensory organs.
Yeah, but she's not gonna like that. She wants data. And unfortunately, we don't have any data. I mean, I could always get a thermometer. No, that doesn't work. You can't just put a thermometer.
We don't have an instant way to measure heat. We don't have a thermal camera.
We don't. If we, I know she told me that there are these, like, thermometer strips that you just put on, like, a baby's forehead. And we could use that, like, we could put it on our hand.
Do we have one?
No, but we can get them at, like, Walgreens.
You're just there.
Not Care, though. Well, what I was thinking is get a piece of tin foil, wrap a cotton ball part way, so that way we could feel,
Okay, no.
the heat transfer. No, because tin foil is is not a very good heat conductor. So what it does is, even if you touch it coming right out of an oven, you can crumple it right up and it doesn't hurt at all. So what we can do is we can get a piece of tin foil, put it on our hands or something, and then we could set the cotton ball on fire and see how well the heat transfers. Hello everybody, this is our Mythbusters experiment. We are trying to see if we can light a simple cotton ball on fire and hold it at the same time using very simple household materials such as nail polish remover. So let's get started with some of the fun part, lighting it on fire. So while I try and do this, it's been difficult. Right now we see the reaction taking place. The cotton ball is on fire and it is slowly burning away. The reason why that this myth seems plausible is the fact that while it burns, ash is being created on the outside of it through burning, and the ash does not transfer heat very well. So that's part of the myth, the science behind the myth. And so with the acetone in the nail polish remover, the acetone has a very low ignition temperature, so it takes very little to light and stay on fire. So we're going to try with a cotton ball. We're going to try out our variables of acetone-based nail polish remover and the non-acetone-based nail polish remover. For safety, we have some water just in case we need to put anything out. And we got our supplies, lovely blue lighter, and we got anything we need to hold, anything that's very on fire. So let's get on with the myth. So right now I'm going to try and coat the cotton ball in the acetone based nail polish remover to see if I can hold it. And we're going to record and try and find out how it feels to the hand, because while I was holding that cotton ball on fire, I could feel the heat coming off it. So we're going to see if there's any difference in how it feels. So let's start by lighting this bad boy up. Okay, it is on fire right now. I'm going to give it a minute to spread. It seems pretty hot. I can hold it. It does not hurt too much. And that was the acetone base. It didn't hurt too much, but it definitely felt hot. I would say that I couldn't hold it for very long extended periods of time. Now we're going to try and coat the next cotton ball in the non-acetone based nail polish remover. So as we're coating this, let's talk about some of the chemical properties of acetone. Acetone having a very low ignition temperature, meaning it does not take a lot to light. Now, as we just saw through the acetone-based nail polish remover, it was not very hot compared to when I was just holding it and I could feel the heat of the cotton ball. So it allowed the cotton ball, the outer layer of it, to burn and turn to ash rather rapidly. And that did not conduct the heat very well into my hand, thus pretty much saving me from getting a really bad burn. Now, we're going to try with the non-acetone base and see how well it helps with not burning me. having a technical difficulty. Please excuse the technical difficulty. Okay, we have it lit. I'm going to let it burn a little bit, as before. And let's see if I can hold it. Right now, well, it didn't start my shirt on fire, and that's a good sign. And while I was holding it, it seemed a lot cooler than with the acetone base. So I think we found out the first problem with the acetone as being the main reason behind the cotton balls not setting me on fire. So let's try that one again and see if we can get it to stay still. Now I'm going to coat it. Okay, just coating cotton ball. Alright. Non-acetone based nail polish remover, take 2. Let's see if we can get it to work. Okay, it is on fire. And as holding it, it's very hard to see the flames because we're rolling it around. But I can feel the heat, but only on parts that are not blackened. So seems that it might have died, but it was hot. I did feel the heat, but the transfer was much less than with the acetone base. So let's light it up and see if we can continue going. Okay, it's starting to burn. Okay, now it has been pretty well burned, and note that only places that had the first drop of non-acetone base are the only places that are not burned. Everywhere else that was coated just a tiny bit is darker and has a nice layer of ash on it. So that way the ash, as the same as when people try and walk on fire, is protecting my hand and my skin from the heat of the fire. And the little science behind why people can walk on fire, science moment, is that they don't actually walk on fire. They're walking on the hot coals of the wood. And the coals is when it has already died down a bit and it has a fine layer of ash and soot on it, so the heat transfer through the ash is very minimal. And they also they have the heat displaced across the surface area of their foot, which is exactly what I was doing by rolling the cotton ball in my hand while it was on fire. So it seems that the science behind this myth is pretty sound, but we have also found out that the acetone base was a lot hotter, and it was a lot harder for me to hold, whereas the non-acetone base did not burn as easily and was also a lot cooler. But at the same time, we lost the ability to actually hold it for a long time because it extinguished. So now we've done a coating of each substance. Now we're going to try and see if we can make it a bit more coated. So I'm going to dunk.
Saturated.
Yeah. We're going to dunk it and saturate the cotton ball so that way it gets full of the chemical, and see how well it works. See if we can even get it to start on fire. So I'm going to wash my hands off of any of the chemical.
Dry them.
I'm going to dry my hand, make sure the flint is able to ignite, and we're going to see if we can start this on fire. Technical difficulties again. It seems that we can't even get it to light. It appears we can't even get it to light. So maybe that was a fault on the part of the scientist. My bad. So, but let's not be discouraged. There's always another cotton ball. So I'm going to try and quickly do it and just get the acetone introduced a lot quicker. Let's coat it a little bit more. Okay. Now, with it coated, I'm going to leave a part of it dry. Once again, rinsing my hand of any chemicals, make sure for safety, just in case it burns. I'm going to dry my hands off, and going to make sure my ingredients don't roll away. And I'm going to light this on fire and see how well it works. Okay, it's burning. Flame has already died out. So it doesn't seem to be working when you dunk it in acetone.
Say there's no wind.
And without the wind, you know, it appears that the oversaturation of the cotton ball is to blame for our inability to light the cotton ball on fire. And we're going to try and see if we can do it a little better this time in the non-acetone base. So we're going to dunk it just a little bit, let it go, try and push it in so the center gets it. Okay, now I left it mostly dry, so I'm going to light it on fire and I'm going to see if this is able to help. Kevin, I know you're back there. So, it is on fire. It is burning. That was way hotter than before. I think there was a little bit too much acetone, non-acetone rather, in there, and it did not help very much. So, from what we have gathered, we have seen that saturating a cotton ball completely in one of the nail polish removers does not help. And having the other nail polish remover, have it be in the center, kind of have it more concentrated and be able to spread to the outside, is not very good either. But we have seen that coating the cotton ball in the chemical of choice does help rather than just holding a plain cotton ball. So we've proven that the myth is technically plausible, but some of the science behind it is not correct because the nail polish remover with the acetone was a lot hotter and a lot harder to hold than the non-acetone base. So if you ever try and hold a fireball at home, don't try this at home, kids. A non-acetone base seems to be a lot safer to use, though we have also found out that you cannot hold it for as long. The fire will not last. I don't know why that is, but is most likely due to some of the chemicals that are in the non-acetone base. They use several other chemicals such as ethyl acetate, which is another flammable chemical, but possibly that chemical eats out the flames. But that's not our myth. Our myth was to see if you could try and hold a fireball, basically, and we were able to do that. Granted, not for as long as displayed in the video, but we have proven it plausible based on the parameters of the myth. So I would like to thank you for sticking tuned to this science moment with myself and my lovely crew behind the scenes, also trying out the myth for themselves, appearing it's working, and we'd like to see you next time. That's a wrap.